Hey y'all, it's Wildcat Mythic here, and today I am drawing one of my Dungeons & Dragons OC characters, Kialyn. Kialyn is a Trident, and I thought it would be really cool to try coloring her with color pencils. So today I am doing that. So right now I am sketching her face out, starting with the eyes. Unlike in my other previous sketches, instead of spacing out the eyes, I decided to just eyeball it, eyeball the eyes, and they turned out really good. Maybe just a little too big, but the proportions of it, distance-wise, I thought that was pretty good. And then next I did the nose, mouth, and then the ears. So Kialyn is a kind of like a priestess, very religious character. She, in her quest, was going to meet with other people and go on a journey, but that campaign didn't really work out that well. But here with the ears, the really exciting thing about the ears is that last time I really struggled with the ears, so I figured out just drawing like starting at the end of it and just doing like developing like a little shape and then drawing two lines out to indicate where I want the little curves to go when I do the outside of it, and that worked out really well. And here I'm starting the color pencils and just starting with the shadows and doing the shadow colors. So the colors I used for her skin, these are Prismacolor color pencils, is Cloud Blue, Light Cerulean Blue, and True Blue. And here I'm actually using the medium color, Light Cerulean Blue, first for the beginning of doing the shadows, pressing hard, and then using it to lightly go over the skin. And then I'm going to layer over with the True Blue and end up burnishing with the Cloud Blue later on, and just experimenting and playing around with blending color pencils. And I'm using a smaller notebook too. This one is meant for mixed media. I got it at Walmart. So I'm seeing how all that works out. So with the nose, I went back and forth between the two colors, the one I'm using mainly for a skin tone and the shadow, and just going around and coloring it in. Could have done a little bit heavier, more on the sides where her hair is at, before it reaches the neck. And then the lips, like I just didn't know exactly how to do the lips because she isn't really a girly girl, so I didn't want to define her lips too much to make it look like she had lipstick, but we all have lips, so I just kind of did like a little line at the top. So that's something to definitely work on improving on. So now I'm burnishing, which is just pressing down really hard with a color to really flatten out the paper more and smooth out the paper. And it also, with Prismacolor being the way they are, it does help them blend out a bit more. The only downside is once you do it so many times, you just can't add any more layers to it. So I did the forehead, and now I'm going back to the nose, adding in some shading along the sides, and then going back with that Cloud Blue for the cheek and the right side of her face. And then going back over from that Cloud Blue to the Light Cerulean Blue Prismacolor. And then one thing I've been experimenting with is indicating like the little bit of shadow underneath the eyes. Like I used to not do that, but I've been watching more and more people draw and looking at different examples of art, and I was like, I want to start trying. It may not look good at first, but I'll get the hang of it eventually. So starting with the shadows toward the corner of the eye, and going down the side of the cheek and doing under the eye, just connecting it all. And then going back and forth between using that true blue for the shadow and then blending it out with that light cerulean blue, using actually circular motions instead of going side to side when doing that shadow. Which, in hindsight, when it came to coloring the chin, I should have added more definition around it. Like from under the lip to around the sides of the jaw, you know, to really indicate the lip, or use the true blue lighter, you know, to lighten it a bit more. And then the neck, which I thought the neck turned out pretty good doing that. I did the shadow under the chin and then down the sides of the neck, and I just thought that turned out really good. The blending and everything on that one is something I really liked on it. And then I try to, you know, wipe away the little color pencil crummies and end up kind of like sticking down to the paper because you're pushing it into the paper as you're swiping it away. So I was able to grab my little brush and brush away some of the crummies from the color pencil. Then I used that true blue to outline the ears, color it in with the true blue, and then for the little line details, just back to true blue. And then for the eyes, I tried to do like a fade with the darker yellow at the top, going down to the lighter yellow, which I don't think I had too much contrast in it to make it really pop. The yellows I used at the top for the darker color is yellow orchard, and the bottom part is sand. And then I used just my 3H pencil to shade, well, not really shade, just the color in the eyes, because the white of the eyes are not pure white. So I did that. And then I decided I'm going to outline and ink all the features of the eyes. But my mistake here is that I've already colored everything with the colored pencils. And that waxy buildup, it's just hard to ink. So in the future, I'm going to draw, then ink, and then color it with the color pencils. So, and the ink pen I'm using is just your regular run-of-the-mill Papermate ballpoint pen. Nothing really fancy at all. And then for the hair, which normally I struggle coloring hair, but I actually really liked how it turned out. So her hair is wavy, so every time there was like a dip in her hair from the wave, I just used a darker color and then a lighter color for like highlighted area, which it is very, you know, very basic and stuff, but you know, it's a start, you know, and I liked it, you know. It's an improvement from where I was. So the colors I used to color her hair, for the lighter part, I used Copenhagen blue, and for the darker parts, I used indigo blue. So just went back and forth between using them both and using it at the top of the hair for the hair parts. And I just go back and forth, layering it, and then using that indigo blue for the hair in the background behind her head where her neck is at. I decided when it came to inking it not to ink her ears. At first I was going to ink around it, but I really liked how that true blue looked, and I may next time in the future ink it, but I thought it didn't really get too lost in the hair, especially with the majority of the ears being that cloud blue color. So then there's a lot of white of the paper showing through. So it's, with color pencils, it's all about layering and doing a whole bunch of layers. And so when I got done with the first layer of the color pencil, to go on top of it to kind of get it all together, I used the True Blue, which was the shadow color for the skin for the hair, and then went back on top of it with the Copenhagen Blue and Indigo Blue at their corresponding spots on her hair. And just repeated that, going back and forth. And then I made sure to use that brush again instead of swiping it with my hand, because I learned from the last time. I don't want the little color pencil crummies to stick on the paper. Then I decided to try to do like indications of strands of hair, and it didn't turn out because I already pushed down too hard on the paper, so I couldn't add more like noticeable lines on there. And that concludes my drawing. So thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you liked, and subscribe to see more. And hopefully I'll see y'all next time. Bye.